Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros.
Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show Action Edition, where we feature an actionable tip that you can use today. And I'm here with my old buddy Larry. Larry, what have you been doing?
Well, this is a continuation of our series in the multi-tool attachment situation. So I was in the big box store the other day, John, and while I was there, I walked down the aisle to the multi-tools. And we have yet to talk about just regular old, the flat trim blades, right, which is probably the most common use for the multi-tool, for the oscillating multi-tool. It's just a flat blade that you cut whatever it is that you want to cut. But I, in my travels and travails in the big box store, I realized there's actually quite a number of choices for these particular types of blades. So it really gets down to what are you cutting, right? And what are some of the options? So we thought we'd just do a real quick synopsis of what some of the options are. Let's start with the first one, which is the actual width of the blade, right? So some of them are like 1.5 inches wide, some of them are 1 inch, and some of them are even bigger than that. They're like 2 inches. So they come in different widths for different cutting applications. I guess it just depends on how much you're cutting, what kind of trim, and what sort of things you're cutting with it. So just be aware that they do come in different widths. It's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all. The other thing I noticed is that they come in different configurations. Much like any saw blade, they come in a version that's a cross-cut version designed to cut wood. They come in a version that's designed to cut plastic. I'm assuming it's a little bit harder than the traditional cross-cut wood-type blades. Some are carbide tipped, right, which is designed to cut nails and metal. So those are all the different ones that I saw in just the flat trim blades. And each one, and I have carbide ones and I have wood ones. I don't have a plastic one yet. Well, I actually do. I just haven't used it yet. But I do notice there's a big difference. If I'm really trying to do an aggressive cut quickly into wood, I use a wood blade. I'll change it out from my carbide. If I think there's any nails in there, just like a crosscut saw, like a circular saw, I'll change over to the carbide tip because it'll eat up those wood blades pretty quickly. So just a couple of little things to let you know about that it just requires a little pre-planning. There's different blades for these oscillating multi-tools. These are the flat trim blades, and we've talked about trimming them out, how you can lay them flat, you can cut them. And those blades get into places that other blades don't get into. So that is the tip of the day, is be aware that there's other types of the flat blades. Do you have anything there, John?
Yeah, and I will also just add that there are so many of these that the big box stores don't carry all of them. So if you go on the internet, you will find more blades, like this in that category than you can shake a stick at.
Yep.
And there's all kinds of different quality of those blades too. So
different prices
and different price points. So when you're using these, just as another little additional tip is that just make sure that you just there's a little bit of a technique on like cutting through like a nail.
Yes.
Where you kind of want to actually kind of move it back and forth while it's going.
Yep. So
you don't burn out that blade.
A hole in the blade. You'll actually create kind of a hole in the blade if you're not careful.
So
that's a good tip, John, by the way.
But so these things are tremendous. I have, I have the one carbide blade I spent some money on, which is fine. And I use it for for wood and, all kinds of things. Not ideal for every application. But you are correct is that, when you're going to cut certain different types of materials, there's a blade for every one of those.
Yes.
So once again, I'm always amazed at this tool. And this is one of the things I don't know how I live without it.
It's one of those I'm never going to be without it again kind of tools.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
Right there. Yeah. Nope. Not going to be without. We're going to always have one. So if you don't have one, and they're pretty reasonably priced. So the oscillating multi-tool, and we have cordless ones, and even they're pretty reasonably priced for it's what you get. It's not. You get what you pay for. I mean, they're tremendously useful. Yeah. So, anything else on the blades, John?
Nope. That's it. Just do some research, and you'll find all kinds of things that we've been, all kinds of wonderful attachments that we've been talking about here in this
and are
in
going
this
to
series.
continue, and they're going to continue to talk about. We're gonna go tool shopping, and we're going to buy some new kind of really unique ones, and we're going to give them the old, yes or no, are they good or are they bad? So it is what it is. All right, folks, don't forget to join our Facebook group. That's at Handyman Pros. Join in the conversation. You can send us an email, questions at handymanprosradioshow.com. We're on Twitter at Handyman Radio, and we do ask, please, if you like the show, give us a good rating, tell your friends and neighbors, send the links around. We appreciate it as always, and we will see you next week on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.